Hello everybody, it's Joonya Boonya, and today I wanted to talk about my achalasia. What is achalasia? Achalasia is an esophagus disease that I have been living with for the past 10 years. It's been 10 years. Good Lord, it's been 10 years. I'm getting old. Yes, it's been that long since I've had... Wow, it's been 10 years. I was 19, I'm 29. Oh my God. I did a video about achalasia and a video that I'll post in the description below. But I figured why not do a update video on how I'm doing and what information I can share for those of you out there who have achalasia or know someone who has achalasia. I also want to say that there are lots of support groups on Facebook and on the internet. I'll post a link down below leading you to a Facebook group that I am a part of that I find super helpful, where people post lots of information about what they're experiencing with their achalasia, and you can share your story, and you can bond over your pain and suffering together. It's wonderful to bond in misery. What is achalasia? Achalasia basically is where the esophagus just stops working properly. The muscle just, that helps the food go down, stops helping the food go down, and you try to swallow, and the part of your muscle tenses up, and it won't let the food go down into your stomach. So the food goes back up the esophagus and out onto the floor or wherever you decide to project your vomit. And this happens so many times that you become a vomit expert. And vomiting is not fun. And I went to many doctors, and they thought it was bulimia. They thought I had terrible acid reflux. They really didn't know what was wrong with me. It took me losing 90 pounds, being a freaking skeleton. And when I tell you, going from 190, which is where I currently am, and going through this whole process of losing weight, I was super excited. Like around 170, 150, I was like, yeah, I'm sexy. Look at my abs. I have never had abs before until this disease. And I was excited until I started seeing my rib cage and bones in my arms. I could see my bones. I could wrap my whole hand around my wrist. It was scary. And I started passing out a lot because I was basically malnourished. I found a good doctor who led me to some of his doctor friends, who led me to all these wonderful tests, all these measuring sticks put down my nose. It was awful. They finally figured out what it was that was wrong with me. And they told me that I had achalasia, and I was like, yay! What's achalasia? They gave me 3 options. 2 were temporary and 1 was permanent. The 2 temporary options were the balloon dilation and the Botox. The permanent option was the surgery, which was the hilar myotomy surgery. I get that question a lot. Which surgery I had, it was the hilar myotomy, which basically means they went down, they cut off the part of my esophagus that was tensing up, and they flipped my stomach over that to connect the 2. And so it was a sort of a gastric bypass, but not really. And I chose that because I wanted a permanent solution. I didn't want a temporary solution. I didn't want any medicine. I wanted to swallow. And so after that surgery, I have been just great. I've not been perfect. I've been able to swallow. The biggest issues that I have would probably be the acid reflux and the spasms, the esophagus spasms, which are very sharp pains in my chest area. And I know it's my esophagus. It's like I swallowed needles, and it's so painful. It usually happens randomly or when I eat the wrong things. So what I've done to help, relieve that, first of all, are these. This is the Tums Smooth Peppermint. I'm not sure if you can see this. Yeah, there it is. The Chewy Delights Smooth Peppermint. This stuff right here, it helps a lot for when I have bad acid reflux and the sharp pain. With cold water, it's wonderful. It's temporary, but it helps. Just for a little bit, But what helped me a lot is eating the right things and figuring out what foods you can and can't eat. The main 2 things that I can't eat are onions and tomato-based foods. I cannot, because if I'm ready to suffer and be up all night, I will indulge in those things. I can't eat pizza without experiencing massive painful acid reflux. So I have to avoid those things. And I also still can't eat without having a cup of water nearby. I always have to have water with me at all times whenever I eat. And the other thing is that I thoroughly chew my food so that I may swallow things easily. I can swallow regardless, but sometimes like I'll really need to like fight with the food to get it down, because it'll get like, if it's too much food at once, me and my esophagus go to war, and my esophagus wins. Then I win, but then I'm also losing because I'll have a hoarse throat all day, and it's just painful. So it's better that I thoroughly chew my food, avoid onions, don't eat pizza ever, but I do once a month. I just have to be up. I can't just sit down after eating too. I have to move around, and there's a process. It's very tiresome. It's very annoying, but it's my reality. And I wanted to do this video for those of you out there who are living with achalasia and who have way worse symptoms than I'm having, and you have my sympathy. And I hope this video was helpful to you in some way. I'm not a doctor, so I can't recommend anything like the Tums. I'm not going to say that the Tums will save everybody. I don't know your situation, but I do recommend that you go check the link in my description box and click on that Facebook page that will lead you to this wonderful support group. And there are other support groups also online on Facebook, even on, I'm not sure where else, but there are lots of support groups out there for us to be able to vent and learn more about our issue. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Remember to spread peace, love, and all that jazz. Until next time, mahala.